Ladies and gentlemen, today is a turning point. It's a day of decision. You're either going to keep playing small, making excuses and staying stuck, or you're going to rise, take control, and fix your life. You see, life doesn't reward those who complain. It doesn't hand success to those who wait. Life rewards those who step up, take responsibility, and commit to becoming better. Now, what is the loser mentality? It's not just failure. Failure is part of the process. A loser mentality is when you choose to stay down. When you blame the world, your past, your circumstances, instead of owning your future. It's when you settle for less, when you tolerate mediocrity, when you say, this is just how it is. No, my friend, that's not how it is. That's how you've allowed it to be. Taking full responsibility is the foundation of transformation. It is the defining trait that separates winners from those who remain stuck. The moment you decide to own your actions, your choices, and your circumstances, everything changes. Because as long as you blame external factors, your parents, the government, the economy, your upbringing, you are giving away your power. And the moment you give away your power, you accept the role of a victim. Victims don't change their lives because they don't believe they have control. They wait, they hope, they complain. But winners take control. They recognize that while they may not be responsible for everything that has happened to them, they are responsible for how they respond, what they do next, and where they go from here. Responsibility is not about guilt or blame. It's about ownership. It's about saying, this is my life, and I am in charge of what happens next. You might not have chosen where you were born, how you were raised, or the hardships you faced, but you always have a choice in how you move forward. If you're broke, you can blame your circumstances, or you can learn how to manage money. If you're out of shape, you can make excuses about your genetics, or you can get disciplined about your health. If you're in a job you hate, you can complain about your boss, or you can develop new skills and create better opportunities for yourself. Everything comes down to ownership. The problem is, most people don't want to take responsibility because it's uncomfortable. It's easier to blame. It's easier to say, I can't because of them. It's easier to point fingers than to look in the mirror. But the truth is, the moment you stop blaming and start owning, you regain control. You move from being reactive to being proactive. And that shift is powerful. Because when you take responsibility, you stop waiting for things to change and you start making things change. There are two types of people in this world, those who make excuses and those who make adjustments. The excuse makers live their lives waiting for luck, waiting for someone to save them, waiting for the conditions to be perfect. But the ones who take responsibility, they don't wait, they act. They don't say it's not fair, they say, what can I do to make it better? They don't waste time on blame because they know blame changes nothing. Only action does. If you want to fix your life, this is where it starts. No more complaining, no more excuses, no more waiting for permission. Take full responsibility for your success, your failures, your growth, and your future. Because the moment you do, you put yourself in control. And when you're in control, nothing can stop you. Fixing your thinking is the first and most critical step in changing your life. Everything you do, every decision you make, every success or failure you experience is a direct result of how you think. Your mind is either working for you or against you, and the quality of your thoughts determines the quality of your life. If you constantly think in terms of limitations, obstacles, and problems, then that is exactly what you will experience. But if you train your mind to focus on possibilities, opportunities, and solutions, you will start seeing progress. The problem is, most people don't realize that their thinking is broken. They have been conditioned by their environment, their past experiences, and the negativity around them to believe in scarcity, doubt, and fear. They accept the idea that life is hard, that success is for the lucky, and that they are powerless to change their circumstances. But nothing could be further from the truth. The mind is like a garden. If you don't take care of it, weeds will grow automatically. Negative thoughts, limiting beliefs, self-doubt. These things don't need permission to take root. They are the default setting of an untrained mind. But just like a garden, your mind can be cultivated. You can remove the weeds and plant seeds of success. You can choose to feed your mind with positive, empowering thoughts instead of destructive ones. You can decide to reject self-imposed limits and replace them with new beliefs that push you forward instead of holding you back. The key is awareness. Pay attention to how you talk to yourself. Listen to your inner dialogue. Are you telling yourself that you are capable, strong, and determined? Or are you constantly doubting yourself, making excuses, and expecting failure? If your thoughts are negative, you must change them. Not someday, not when life gets easier, right now, because the way you think today will shape the results you see tomorrow. Your mind is the engine that drives your actions, and your actions create your reality. If you think like a victim, you will act like a victim, and your life will reflect that. If you think like a winner, you will behave like one, and success will follow. This is not wishful thinking. This is a fundamental law of human psychology. Your beliefs shape your behavior, and your behavior determines your outcomes. The good news is you have the power to change how you think. You can reprogram your mind by intentionally feeding it with the right information, surrounding yourself with the right people, and taking control of your focus. If you want to fix your life, start by fixing your thinking. Stop seeing problems, start seeing solutions. Stop focusing on what you lack, start focusing on what you can create. The moment you shift your mindset, you shift your entire future. The people you surround yourself with shape your mindset, your habits, and ultimately your destiny. Whether you realize it or not, your associations are influencing your thoughts, your energy, and your belief in what is possible. If you spend time around negative, lazy, or excuse-filled people, their way of thinking will rub off on you. It's inevitable. You start to lower your standards. You begin to tolerate mediocrity. You absorb their mindset without even realizing it. But if you surround yourself with winners, people who are driven, disciplined, and focused, you will rise to their level. Their energy will push you forward. Their expectations will challenge you. Their habits will inspire you. Most people don't consciously choose their associations. They stay in the same circles out of comfort, habit, or history. They hold on to friendships that no longer serve them. They spend time with people who drain them rather than uplift them. They don't realize that staying in the wrong environment is one of the biggest reasons they remain stuck. The truth is, if you want to grow, you must be willing to let go of relationships that hold you back. That doesn't mean you have to cut people off with anger or resentment. It simply means you must be intentional about who you allow to influence you. You must ask yourself, are the people in my life making me better, or are they keeping me the same? If the answer is the latter, it's time to make a change. Success leaves clues, and one of the biggest clues is found in the company people keep. High achievers don't waste time around those who lack ambition. They seek out mentors, role models, and peers who push them to be better. They know that growth happens in the right environment. If you want to upgrade your life, you must upgrade your associations. Find people who inspire you, challenge you, and force you to level up. Look for those who have already achieved what you want and learn from them. Surround yourself with individuals who think bigger, work harder, and expect more from life. It's not always easy to change your associations, but it is necessary. You might have to distance yourself from longtime friends who don't share your vision. You may need to spend less time with family members who constantly fill your mind with doubt. You will likely have to step outside your comfort zone to find new circles, whether through networking, events, or personal development groups. But the effort is worth it. The right relationships will challenge you to grow, push you to take action, and support you on your journey to success. You will start to think differently, act differently, and see different results. Your associations are either pulling you forward or holding you back. Choose wisely, because the people in your life are either an anchor or a ladder. If you want to rise, surround yourself with those who are climbing. Self-discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. It is the single most important factor in achieving success, yet most people struggle with it because they rely on motivation. The problem with motivation is that it comes and goes. One day you feel inspired, the next day you don't. But discipline is different. Discipline is doing what needs to be done even when you don't feel like it. It's waking up early when your body wants to sleep. It's going to the gym when you don't have the energy. It's working on your goals when distractions are pulling you in every direction. Those who win in life are not necessarily the most talented, the smartest, or the luckiest. They are simply the ones who mastered the art of discipline. Most people struggle with self-discipline because they look at it as a burden instead of a gift. They see it as something that restricts them, when in reality it is what sets them free. Discipline gives you control over your life. It allows you to create structure, build good habits, and make progress toward your dreams. Without discipline, you become a slave to your emotions, your impulses, and your excuses. You fall into the trap of procrastination, inconsistency, and regret. But when you develop the ability to do the hard things, to stick to your commitments, and to stay focused, you become unstoppable. The key to self-discipline is obsession. You cannot casually approach discipline and expect great results. You have to be obsessed with it. You have to commit to it as a way of life. This means setting non-negotiable standards for yourself. If you say you're going to wake up at 5 a.m., you do it. If you set a goal to work out 5 days a week, you follow through. If you decide to cut out distractions and stay focused, you stick to it. The moment you start negotiating with yourself, you lose. The moment you let excuses slip in, you weaken your discipline. Developing self-discipline is like building a muscle. The more you train it, the stronger it gets. It won't be easy at first. You will be tempted to quit, to take shortcuts, to fall back into old habits. But every time you push through, every time you choose discipline over comfort, you become stronger. You start to trust yourself. You build confidence. You prove to yourself that you can follow through, that you can control your actions, and that you can create the life you want. If you want success, you cannot rely on willpower alone. You must develop systems, routines, and habits that make discipline automatic. Remove temptations, create a structured schedule, and hold yourself accountable. Surround yourself with disciplined people who inspire you to stay on track. Make discipline your obsession, not just something you practice when it's convenient. When you fully commit to a disciplined life, success is no longer a question of if, it's a matter of when. Time is the most valuable asset you have, yet most people waste it on meaningless activities that add no real value to their lives. Every day, hours are lost to mindless scrolling, binge-watching TV, gossiping, procrastinating, and engaging in distractions that offer no return. The problem is that time once spent is gone forever. Unlike money, which you can earn back, or energy, which you can restore, lost time is lost permanently. And if you continue to waste it, you will wake up one day full of regret, realizing that you could have done so much more if only you had been intentional with your time. People who achieve great things in life are not necessarily smarter or more talented than others. They simply understand the value of time and refuse to waste it. They are focused, deliberate, and disciplined with how they spend their hours. They prioritize tasks that move them forward, whether it's learning new skills, building relationships, working on their goals, or taking care of their health. They don't let distractions control them. Instead, they take control of their time. Every decision they make is guided by one question: is this helping me grow, or is it holding me back? The truth is, most people don't waste time because they lack ambition. They waste time because they lack awareness. They don't realize how much of their day is slipping away on things that don't matter. A quick check of social media turns into an hour of mindless scrolling. Watching one episode turns into an entire evening lost in a TV series. A simple conversation turns into a gossip session that drains energy and accomplishes nothing. The biggest mistake people make is underestimating the compounding effect of wasted time. 10 minutes here, 20 minutes there. Over weeks, months, and years, this adds up to an enormous amount of lost potential. The key to stopping this cycle is to become ruthlessly intentional about how you spend your time. Every minute should have a purpose. That doesn't mean you have to work every second of the day, but it does mean you should eliminate activities that don't serve you. If something doesn't contribute to your growth, your goals, or your well-being, it needs to be minimized or eliminated. Replace mindless entertainment with reading, scrolling with learning, and distractions with productivity. Schedule your day in a way that aligns with your long-term vision. The more structure and purpose you create in your routine, the less likely you are to fall into time-wasting habits. At the end of the day, your future is being built by how you use your time today. If you waste it, you will never reach your full potential. If you use it wisely, you can achieve anything you set your mind to. The choice is always yours. Spend your time on things that matter, or let it slip away on things that don't. The way you spend your days is ultimately the way you spend your life. Make every moment count. Success is not about luck, background, or talent. It's about skills. The people who win in life are the ones who invest time in developing valuable skills instead of making excuses. Every excuse you make is a reason why you're staying stuck. Every moment spent justifying why you can't do something is a moment wasted that could have been used to get better. The truth is, the world doesn't reward excuses. It rewards those who put in the work, develop expertise, and create results. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is simple. One group focuses on solutions and growth, while the other focuses on problems and limitations. Most people don't lack potential, they lack skill development. They complain that opportunities don't come their way, but they haven't taken the time to become valuable. They want success, but they don't want to put in the effort to learn, practice, and improve. They make excuses. I don't have time. I'm not talented. I wasn't born with those abilities, instead of taking action. But here's the reality. Every skill can be learned, whether it's communication, leadership, sales, business, fitness, or creativity. Anyone can improve if they are willing to put in the effort. The only thing standing in the way is the mindset of excuses. Excuses feel comfortable because they remove responsibility. They allow people to stay where they are without feeling guilty, but comfort is the enemy of progress. Every time you choose an excuse over action, you reinforce a habit of staying stuck. On the other hand, every time you choose to build a skill instead of making an excuse, you take a step toward mastery. Over time, those small steps compound into massive results. The most successful people are not the ones who are naturally gifted from the start. They are the ones who put in hours of practice, faced failures, adjusted, and kept going. They focused on improving, not complaining. The key to building skills is consistency. You don't have to be great when you start, but you have to start to become great. Set aside time every day to work on something that moves you forward. Read, practice, take courses, find mentors, and surround yourself with people who challenge you. Instead of saying, I can't, start asking, how can I? Instead of looking for shortcuts, embrace the process. The more valuable your skills become, the more valuable you become. The better you get, the more opportunities open up. The stronger your abilities, the less you have to depend on luck or circumstances. Your future will be built on what you do today. If you want a better life, stop waiting for things to change and start changing yourself. Learn something new, improve your craft, master your field, make progress every single day. Because in the end, you either have results or you have excuses. And only one of those leads to success. Action is the ultimate separator between those who succeed and those who stay stuck. Ideas, dreams, and intentions mean nothing without execution. The world doesn't reward what you plan to do, think about doing, or talk about doing. It rewards what you actually do. Too many people spend their lives waiting. They wait for the right moment, the perfect conditions, or for motivation to strike. But those who win in life don't wait. They act. They take relentless, consistent action toward their goals, no matter the obstacles, no matter how they feel, and no matter how uncertain the path may seem. Most people fail, not because they lack knowledge or talent, but because they never take enough action to see real results. They overthink, analyze, and hesitate, letting doubt and fear paralyze them. They convince themselves that they need more time, more resources, or more certainty before they start. But the truth is, action creates clarity. You don't get confidence by thinking about doing something. You get confidence by doing it. Every time you take action, you gain experience. Every time you move forward, you learn. And with each step, you build momentum that makes the next step easier. Excuses will always be available, but so is opportunity. While some people are busy making excuses about why they can't, others are out there making progress with what they have. The difference isn't intelligence, luck, or talent. It's who takes action and who doesn't. Action is what turns dreams into reality. It's what transforms potential into results. The most successful people in the world are not necessarily the smartest. They are simply the ones who take massive action without hesitation. They don't wait for the perfect conditions because they understand that perfect conditions don't exist. They don't allow fear to stop them because they know that action kills fear. They move, adjust, and adapt along the way, but they keep moving. Taking relentless action doesn't mean waiting until you feel motivated. It means developing the discipline to execute even when you don't feel like it. Motivation is temporary, but discipline and action are what create success. The key is consistency. One big effort every once in a while won't change your life, but daily focused action will. Even small steps taken consistently will compound into massive results over time. Success is built one decision, one action, and one step at a time. If you want to change your life, stop overthinking and start executing. Stop waiting for everything to be perfect and start where you are with what you have. Take the first step and then take another. Keep moving forward no matter how small the progress seems. Every action you take gets you closer to your goals. Every effort you make builds momentum. And when you commit to relentless action, success is no longer a matter of if but when. Because in the end, you won't be judged by what you intended to do, you will be judged by what you actually did. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't comes down to one simple thing: who takes action and who doesn't. You now have the mindset, the principles, and the understanding of what it takes to escape the loser mentality and fix your life. But none of it will matter if you don't apply it. Knowledge without action is useless. Intentions without execution lead nowhere. The only thing that will transform your life is what you do next. Decide today that you will take full responsibility for your future. Decide that you will fix your thinking, upgrade your associations, and build the skills necessary to succeed. Decide that you will stop wasting time on meaningless activities and instead get obsessed with self-discipline. And above all, decide that from this moment forward, you will take relentless action toward your goals. Every single day, no excuses. Your life will be a direct reflection of the choices you make and the actions you take. So make the right choices. Take bold action. Stay disciplined. Push past fear. Refuse to settle for anything less than your full potential, because in the end, the people who win are the ones who show up, do the work, and never stop until they get what they came for. It's your time. Go make it happen.